Es que solo...
We are live.
Elías, no puedes hablar nada, ¿vale? Porque
Hello everyone. Hello everyone. This is Francisco Gallego, and together with me it's David Alexander.
Good afternoon, everyone. Yes, my name is David Alexander. I'm the commercial director for Brainstorm, and I have with me my colleague Francisco Gallego, who is the presenter for this presentation, which we're going to be doing for you. We also have Anastasio Moreno, who is one of our senior application specialists, and he will be demonstrating our InfinitySet, which is our virtual set application. May I also introduce our friends from Agiv, which is a 4A company, in particular Gutumbera and Nitin Garg, who I believe you all know. I'd first of all just like to explain what we'll be doing here. Obviously, this is a presentation of Brainstorm, the company, our products, solutions, applications, and so on. We intend to take about 1 hour in doing this, and we will start with a presentation of the company. We will show you our show reel, and we'll talk you through some of the features and applications and customers which we have, and the type of content which they produce. Just coming back to Agiv, as I mentioned, is a 4A company. 4A is, for those of you who are unaware, although it's a very well-known company, it's a major Japanese company with worldwide presence, and it's also a partner company for Brainstorm. Brainstorm is a wholly owned company. It is largely owned by our CEO, but 10% of Brainstorm is actually owned by 4A. So we have a very long-term, very long-lasting relationship with 4A. So what we will do now, we will start by showing you a show reel. We've muted the audio on it, and I will just talk through some of the content which we will be showing you.
Okay.
So I think Francisco will trigger the show reel. I should also add that the internet connection is not particularly good, so you may see that the show reel and other content which we show you is a little bit jerky. So please bear with us and accept that, given the limitations which we all have with the internet and the maximum use of it due to the crisis that we're all suffering. So these are examples. This is a Chilean broadcaster doing news. We have clients in Asia. This is an entertainment channel. We do high resolution, high quality program series, TV series, and so on. Fox News in Brazil. Sports applications, entertainment shows such as this one here, a lot of augmented reality content, news using augmented reality there as well, virtual sets, of course, the core of our business. This is a large virtual set. The whole thing is generated by the InfinitySet. And this gives you an idea of the green screen behind it all. Once again, entertainment shows, news, sports requirements. Again, augmented reality content there. Fox Sports again. This is CNBC in the US. Use a large number of Brainstorm applications. entertainment shows, green screens. We have many clients in Asia. Those were election graphics we just saw there. News and sports, going a bit over the top of that robot, but demonstrating augmented reality content. There's Alliance American Football. Once again, augmented reality in a news program, again from TVN in Chile, state broadcaster, entertainment programs in Spain, election content, sports, this is in the US, weather channel, weather capabilities, sports in the UK, a lot of horse racing, football. More augmented reality content to help tell a better story. That's a virtual studio application there and set. Much of this is with our Unreal, with our InfinitySet virtual studio application, together with the Epic Games Unreal engine to create photorealistic content there. And many of the graphics are done using our Aston, which is a family of CG playouts and design tools. So that gives you a little bit of a flavor of the type of program content that our clients from around the world produced. And we'll be telling you a little bit more about some of those clients. Brainstorm is a company which we just celebrated last year, our 25th anniversary, so we've been around for a long, long time. As I say, we're a privately owned company. We're here for the duration. We're not going to be purchased or sold or whatever. We've been around, say, 25 years, and we expect to be around for a lot longer. You'll see that we are focused in our areas of specialism, which are real-time 3D graphics, augmented reality, and virtual set solutions. And our whole aim, our whole focus is assisting our clients to create very engaging visual experiences for their own audiences, for their own viewers, and doing it in a very cost-effective way. We're always looking to ensure that we provide the most advanced solutions in a very fast and reliable way, and customized to the clients and the client's requirements. This is simply a timeline of Brainstorm and some of the key events during the history of our company. Brainstorm is a Spanish-based company. We have offices in Madrid and Valencia. The company actually is an R&D company. We are primarily R&D focused. Probably 55–60% of our staff are R&D engineers, and the main driving force behind the company is innovation. That is the key differentiator between ourselves and other companies, because we are always at the cutting end of technology. So where we have our specialisms, as I mentioned, virtual studio applications, motion graphics, 3D graphics, augmented reality, we probably have more engineers focused on our areas of specialism than any other companies in our particular sector. And that allows us to be at the forefront of technology. So yes, a Spanish-based company, Madrid and Valencia are principal offices, and then we have subsidiaries elsewhere in the world. To the right of the map there, you'll see we have in Singapore and Beijing. To the left in the Americas, we have in the US and in Mexico, Mexico for our Latin American markets. And then the blue dots on the screen are simply a sample selection of resellers which we have around the world. Again, because of our innovation, because of our cutting edge technology, because we're at the forefront of technological evolutions, we have many recognitions and awards which we've received, confirming our position at the forefront of the technology we specialize in. And the testament to this is the type of clients we have. And this is simply a small selection of very well-known, internationally recognized companies, such as ESPN in sport, CNBC, NHK in Japan, which is the state broadcaster. They have in excess of 250 licenses of ours. RTV is the Spanish state broadcaster. EBS is the Korean educational broadcaster. RTHK is the Hong Kong state broadcaster. So many clients. Fox, of course, is internationally recognized. We have Fox in Colombia, Fox in Brazil, and Fox in Argentina, I believe it is. TVN is the state broadcaster in Chile, and we saw some of their examples in the showreel. The solutions we offer, once again, virtual sets, InfinitySet family of products is our flagship system. Motion graphics, this is based on our Aston, which is our graphic design, playout, and CG system. And then we have elections. These are putting together our products, our services. We can provide turnkey operations for election projects. To give you an example, we had a 5-year contract with the BBC where we provided all their election graphics, whether they were local elections, whether they were general elections, European elections, and it wasn't just graphics, it was the entire presentation, whether it was virtual studios, graphics, data-driven templates, and we had up to 20 people on the ground at the BBC during an election program, for example. But it's not just elections. We provide assistance and turnkey projects for specific events, like the Worldwide Wrestling, the Mama Awards, the opening sequence of the Winter Olympics, for example, a lot of augmented reality there. So for specific events where a client doesn't want to or have the expertise, doesn't want to invest in equipment for the long term, or have the expertise to carry out the event that they want to do. And so we will provide a complete turnkey solution there. On the left-hand side, bottom left, news and sports, those are probably the principal areas of our business. And that's where we will combine perhaps a simple trackless virtual studio, which is what we call the InfinitySet Lite, one of the InfinitySet in the family, right up to a full multi-camera track system, which allows a great deal more flexibility, and often combined with our Aston for creating content, animations, templates, and so on, all designed at creating a more visually interesting program content there. Augmented reality is something which everyone is most aware of these days. It's widely used, and we use it very widely amongst everything which we do, whether it's an entertainment show, whether it's the opening sequence of the Winter Olympics, day-to-day news programs, and so on. And then on the right-hand side of the bottom, entertainment. That is a growing sector of our business. And it's from Big Brother to The Voice down to local game shows. Okay, what I'd like to do now, we're now going to talk in general detail about some of our products, and I'm going to hand over to Francisco Gallego in order to carry on this presentation before we then hand over to Anastasio, who, as I say, will be demonstrating some of the features and capabilities of our InfinitySet Virtual Studio application. So Francisco, over to you.
Thank you very much, David.
Well, actually, sorry, I apologize. I forgot to mention to begin with, if anyone has any questions or queries, you'll see on the top right-hand side of your screen, it says chat. And if you open that, you'll see that underneath it, it says for the presenter. So if you would like to type in a query or question, we'd be more than happy to answer them. Okay, Francisco, over to you.
Thank you very much, David. Well, I'm Francisco Gallego, and as David mentioned, now I'm going to talk about our product range, and also I will show you some video clips of our unique selling points. Okay, so I'm going to start to talk about InfinitySet. InfinitySet is our virtual studio and augmented reality solution. InfinitySet is able to combine our render engine together with Unreal. Some of our unique selling point is that we have the patented track-free technology and the 3D presenter, which I will show you right now. Besides, our InfinitySet is able to perfectly integrate with our motion graphic, and so that we can enhance all the graphic content created by the design department. So let me show you this clip where we are going to see how our engine combines with the Epic Games Unreal Engine, and everything is done in a single render engine, so that we can have the best of both worlds. We can have the photorealistic backgrounds of Unreal, but also all our experience in 3D data-driven graphic. Let me show you this clip. So you will see our presenters. They have been recorded in a green screen, and we have placed them in an Unreal Engine set. So as you will see in the video, you can see real shadows on the floor, and also what we are seeing here is that they are perfectly matched, and as they move, you will see that everything is correctly positioned. Now I'm going to show you another example of our track-free technology. Track-free means that our software is compatible with any tracking system in the market. That means that we are able to work with fixed cameras, but also with track cameras. And we can have also a combination of these two workflows at the same time. Now I'm going to show you an example of our teletransporter. What we are going to see in this video is Veronica recorded in a green screen, and we are going to place her in real time in a remote scenario that is being live also. So both signals, the football pitch and Veronica, are live, and we're able to combine them in real time. Let me show you the video.
And may I just add to that is one of the key reasons we're able to do this and do it very realistically is because in this track-free technology which we have a feature called 3D Presenter. So in a typical virtual studio environment, the virtual studio itself is a 3D generated environment, whereas the presenter is a 2D sticker on top of that 3D environment. Brainstorm has unique technology which allows us to create a 3D image or element out of the presenter. And as a 3D element, the presenter can now interact with the 3D environment. That means that, in this case, Veronica, the presenter, can be in front of or behind 3D objects. She can cast shadows and reflections, and she has volume as well. So it gives the idea of much more than just a 2D sticker, and the whole purpose is to create more realism. In this particular clip, there's color correction as well. There's adapting the lighting. You can see the shadows on the grass, and of course we have added graphic content into the video there as well. So as Francisco said, she's actually in a green screen studio, and she's teletransported. She becomes a virtual traveler to, in this case, the side of the football field.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. And now what the last part of InfinitySet is talking about the magic windows. This is a very powerful feature that allows us to mix real world and also virtual world. What you're going to see now is the video gate effect. You will see, get the video. This one. Okay, so what we have here is the presenter placed in our booth in NAB, and he has at the back 2 real monitors. So what you will see is that as the real camera moves, the perspective inside those real monitors will change, okay? To create this video cave effect. It's a very short movie, but you will see that the perspective changes as the camera moves. This is called the video cave effect. Okay. And now let me show you now I would like to show you the virtual shadows and defocus. Okay, so InfinitySet, as you know, we can create virtual shadows along with the real shadows. So if there is an external chroma key here, we are compatible and we can mix both things. And also in the following video, we will see how we can change the focus and the depth of field in the camera, from the camera perspective.
This is again a feature of our track-free technology, where we can do this defocusing effect, which helps to create depth of field and once again creates more realism.
See, when she placed the hands over the wall, you can see all those virtual shadows on the wall, but also on the floor when she moves. And also we are changing, you see the image a little bit defocus because we are defocusing the image. So you can see this blur effect on the lens. Okay. And now we're going to move on to our Aston. Aston is a different software. We have created this software for real-time motion graphics. Aston is a very easy and friendly it's an easy and very friendly application for CG and playout. it will enable you to have intuitive data-driven graphics. It will allow you to have storm logic and smart templates. This means that you can create templates that combines and create a logic, and I will show you this in a minute. Besides, Aston integrates, as I said at the beginning, with InfinitySet so that you can have augmented reality graphics in a TV show, and also is compatible with PBR materials. Let me show you an example of our smart templates. As I said, you can create as many smart templates as you want. There are no limitations in the animations. You can create them as complex as you want, and you can easily, and for designers, I mean, this Aston has been designed or created having in mind the designers, so that it is very easily to change, edit, and modify any of your projects. Let me show you a video. So you can see all these fancy animations. We can change from one template to another just by a simple click. And I will show you now another example of storm logic. Okay, so you can see all these graphics at the bottom. They have animations, very smoothly done to create very engaging graphics. Okay. And so as I said, storm logic is the feature that allows you to create all those complex animation and interactions. And it's designed in a tree structure of folders so that you can see the logic between each template. Anastasia,
it doesn't require any scripting, so it's very easy to use, very, very adaptable, very fast to make changes, and it's intelligent. And intelligence means that, first of all, within the various features, capabilities, storm logic, and smart templates, and so on that Francis has been talking about, we have data-driven graphics. So typically in a fast-moving election information coming in, the graphics are displayed and driven by remote data arriving. This is done also at, for example, the Wimbledon Tennis Championships, where you have a lot of matches being played simultaneously during the first couple of days of the championship. So it's a very powerful feature to also ensure that content doesn't overlay other content. So that if a graphic, an animation, a lower third comes in, it automatically displaces another one or moves it up or moves it off to avoid any overlap.
Yep. And now I'm going to talk very briefly about Neuron. Neuron is our graphic management solution that integrates with most common newsroom system and automation system. Is most compatible, which means that we can work with almost any automation system in the market. We use Neuron, for example, whenever there is a newsroom system with about 5, 10, or even 100 journalists working at the same time. And we are able to show the journalists how to easily create their templates and render them so that they have a visual, they can have a render image of what they have been working. Also, we have ASTONELECTIONS. ASTONELECTION is a template-based election and business graphic software. It is very easy to use. We have around 25 templates to show different data of elections or financial graphics. It is very easy to use, as in 3 steps you will be able to go live, and also the data can be updated automatically, as you have different customized templates that enables this feature.
So as I mentioned to begin with, we do election graphics, we do turnkey programs, projects for clients. At one end of the spectrum, at the other end, we have the ASTONELECTIONS, which is all-in-one election package, very straightforward to use, yet the results are very, very impactful. And they can be adjusted, modified using the various templates which come as part of the library.
And now I will talk briefly about production service. Brainstorm, for the past 25 years, have been doing trainings, installations. We have a production service department dedicated to content creation, not just virtual sets, but also graphics, like for the BBC during the elections nights. But also we have entertainment shows and events. So I will show you now a video clip of one of our most well-known events we have participated. Let me show you this. It's the Winter Olympics in Korea. We did 2 years ago. What you're seeing now is what you're looking right now. What I'm showing you in this video is you see this dome with the stars. This has been rendered, or it is being rendered by our engine. So the viewers, the people that were watching the opening in their houses, were able to see this dome. However, the people in the stadium could not see it. So see in this, as the camera moves, also the dome stays in place. So from my side, I have finished now, and I will now pass to Anastasio, who will be in charge of doing a demo of InfinitySet. Let me assemble. Hello, Anastasio. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you, and I think you're going to see my screen in a moment.
Yes, we can see that.
Showing the editors. Okay, great. So, good afternoon, everybody. My name is Anastasio Moreno. As David and Francisco said, I am the application specialist. So I'm going to show you a few of the possible applications of InfinitySet. InfinitySet is based on eStudio, which is our render engine, and it is really complex. So what I'm going to show you is just a very quick overview. If you have any further questions, you can ask us after I finish talking, or at any time. You just can call us or drop us a line or anything that you need. In any case, what you can see here is InfinitySet, as I was describing, and here I have a virtual set. And since I'm doing this demo from my laptop, which is not able to have any video input card, I'm just using a pre-recorded video. Okay, but it is good enough just to show you the integration. So As you can see, we've got an anchor and we have a virtual set. Let me tell you how I have configured this. First of all, we have the virtual set. In this case, this is not coming from Unreal Engine or from anywhere else. This is being rendered by eStudio, which is a render engine, as I was telling you. This is purely 3D. Okay, this means that it is not some pre-captured element. As you can see, I'm moving my camera, and it is featuring different positions. Okay, and it is rendering whatever is necessary to render. As we are working with virtual set, this can be as big as we need. In this case, this is a really huge set. Okay, this is coming from a presentation we did a few years ago, where we had some helicopter moving around this city, and it ended right at the position of the anchors, okay, at the TV studio on top of the building. And well, you can build anything. Normally, of course, the virtual sets have the size of a normal studio. What about the video input that we have here? This is a video which is pre-recorded, as I was telling you. And what I am applying here is an internal chroma keyer. I think you all can see the menu here on the right, and I am using our own internal chroma keyer. It is internal, and it is offering us this possibility because we are also compatible with external chroma keyers. We can use anything from Crystal Vision to Ultimate to any of the standard chroma keyer devices in the market. Again, since what I'm doing is using my own computer, I'm using the internal chroma keyer option, which is quite good, as you can appreciate, and it works very easily. As you can see, I've got the menus here. I can show you the original size of the image, okay, of our character. You can see that the image is changing its size for a reason I'm going to tell you in a moment. But the important thing here is that I am able to remove all the green, okay, and to integrate my anchor over here. Also, we don't need to have a really big environment where we shoot our talent. We can have a really narrow studio. We don't need to have a really big studio. You just need the green screen. And once we enable the chroma keyer, we're integrating our anchor in a space as big as we need. Sorry about this. As you can see, this is very flexible. Well, apart from that, you can see we have these options about the chroma keyer, and we have the color corrector that David was telling you about. It's very simple. We can do many things. This is like having a portable CCD, but this is software based. This is the only difference. We can, for example, change the white balance. We can also add some filters. We can change the contrast. I particularly like this because many times it is a little, the original image is a little washed up. You have many possibilities. Apart from that, once you have integrated your character, here your talent, you can see that she is walking on the floor. We have a few things. If you look at the floor, you can see that we have a shadow, and we have 3 different shadows here. Okay, if we get closer to the feet, you can see that we are tracking the position of the feet at all times, and that we are changing the position of the shadow. This is the most basic shadow that we have in InfinitySet, and what we are doing, let me make it more noticeable. It's just to use this shadow, the feet shade. If I make it darker, you can see that we have 2 shadows, one for each feet, So here we are. And then we have a central shadow, which belongs to the body, okay? How are we doing this? This is our track-free patented technology. Since we know where the camera is, we are able to track the position of our talent. So this means that she is actually stepping on the floor. Let me show you this grid, and let me show you the center of our set. And as you can see, she is actually moving back and forth, okay? Now, this is allowing us to integrate our talent perfectly. She is on scale, okay? If we have designed our set with any particular scale, she is integrated at the proper size, and at the same time, we can cast shadows on the objects. We can cast shadows like this, or we can cast some other kind of shadows. I have prepared this. Sorry, slide over here, which is going to display a different kind of shadow. This is a shadow, as you can see, where we are casting the shadow of our anchor, not based on the position of the feet, although it is also based because it is changing the position, but based on the position of a virtual light. Let me show you the virtual light. Here it is. And as you can see, if we displace the light, we are casting the shadow towards a different position, okay? You can also notice how the shadow is not only being cast on the surface, but also on all the 3D space. For example, if we put a wall, as Francisco showed you before, we will be able to see the shadow cast on the wall, okay? So it is a way we have to add a lot of realism to any scene. And please note that for the moment, I haven't showed you anything based on Unreal Engine or anything like that. I'm purely using my own software. I'm using InfinitySet, okay, by itself. Let me disable this for a moment because I want to show you something else. And since we're on my laptop is not so powerful. Francisco was telling you about Aston, okay? And here I have included a few Aston graphics, okay? I have already configured all that, but it is very simple. As you can see, I have a few graphics, and these graphics are not going to be displayed as overlaid graphics, okay? Such as the graphics that you were seeing before, but as augmented reality graphics. When we're talking about Aston, we're talking about a CG software, but since this is based on the same engine as InfinitySet, we are able to display our Aston graphics inside the InfinitySet world, in the virtual world, okay? So a very quick example, I'm just going to show you some countdown, okay? It's in Spanish because this belongs to the Chilean elections that took place last year or so. And as you can see, this is just a way to display a graphic, which is a 3D graphic because Aston is also based on 3D. As you can see, we can notice it is a 3D element. And we are integrating that in our 3D set with our anchor, which is coming from a camera source. In this case, this is pre-recorded, but you get it. And as you can see, I can change and I can modify how this is displayed for every element. So for example, this graphic is called Countdown. In Spanish, has a different name. And I can change the location. So I can display that. And I can displace all my graphics independently. As you can see, there are many elements. Let me remove that. It has its own out animation. And let's change the environment because before showing you the rest of the graphics, I want to tell you about some other feature. As you can see, we have been switching the camera position, and I have been doing that manually. Okay, this can be done with pre-recorded camera positions like this. Okay, all right, we can go back. It's the same. At the same time, I can display the graphic that I was showing you before. We can work with everything at the same time. But imagine that you want to show something different. Imagine that you need to have some augmented reality, okay, with some tracked camera or tracked video. Since I don't have any tracked camera right now with me, I am going to show you this feature with a tracked video recording, okay? But it is exactly the same effect. InfinitySet is compatible with most of the tracking systems in the market. That is not to say all, but we are interested in being integrated with most of the tracking devices. So we have been doing installations with everything, Encam, Shotoku, you name it. So as you can see, I am able to show you something different. Here we have a video which has tracking information. Of course, it is not coming from a camera, it is pre-recorded, but this gives you the idea of what we are able to do, okay? If I display the center of my set, okay, what I was showing you before, this is giving us this information. We have some 3D coordinates, and it's responding, it's changing depending on the position of the original camera, okay? So we are able to integrate a pre-recorded video over a pre-recorded video, and it's dynamic. I could put anything here. For example, again, I can recover my graphic, okay? And it is the same. I haven't had time to include reflections or anything like this in this environment, but it's also possible. It is very, very flexible. Okay, so this is just an empty room, and this is an example for tracking how we can achieve that. Okay, this is just a video we recorded with some tracking device at the moment, and then we integrated everything. This can also be done in post-production, and this is what I'm going to show you in my next example. This is Chile, okay? This belongs to the elections that we shot. Again, as you can see, we have this tracking position, which in this case has been located over here. We can pick the position of that, okay? Even more, we can even, if it is already decided that the position is over here, this can be changed, okay? For example, I have this, which is displaying, again, my anchor at the real size, okay? You can see that we are working at a scale of meters, and she is around 170 or something like this, and she's at a real scale. And having this allows us to display graphics at a much bigger size, okay? So what can we do with this? Let me just play that again. This belongs to, sorry, because I didn't make this a loop, but I'm going to make this playlist a loop so it doesn't stop. Okay, and again, we have our anchor and we have all this space, and then it allows us to play again graphics at a much bigger size. Okay, this is the winner of the elections in Chile. And at the same time, we can pick many other things, okay? So for example, we can display the two main candidates, and we can have this nice 3D effect where we create a hole in the ground. And more importantly, at least from my perspective, we can feed the data automatically, okay? Which means that if we are at an election night, as it is happening here. We could have all the data being fed to our graphics in real time. So this can be updated, and the size of the graphics and even the face of and the name of the candidate will be different. These are the two bigger parties in Chile, but imagine that there is some change and suddenly, I don't know, this red party has many less votes and there's a new main party. Okay, it will be changed automatically. The color of the party, the name of the candidate, everything can be done because it is just taking the information from the database, and we don't need the operator to worry about that. We just need an operator that is going to display the graphic or remove it. Okay, as simple as that. Again, we can also show the results for the size of the parliament, and we can also, since the size is not very big, because this was not designed for this size, for this big jar, we can come back here and again display, for example, the structure of the Senate with all the colors updated in real time. Okay, as you can see, we got the colors, and the two main parties are the ones that are represented here. We have the blue party and the red party, which are the bigger parties in that country. Okay, this is just an overview of what we can do. This is actual 3D integration, and it is as flexible as you can see. We are going back and forth in places, and as you can see, we can keep the graphic. Okay, we can even go to the other side, so we had the center at a different place, and as you can see, it is perfectly stable. The anchor is not there because I have not enabled her, but she could be there. As you can see, she's very tiny, and of course we can remove or do anything with the graphic, everything in real time. Okay, that's the main point here. So this is InfinitySet from a very basic point of view. As you can see, this is just the edit part. Once we have finished editing our Infinity project, the operator is not normally going to work from here. The operator is going to work from the mixer mode. Okay, the mixer mode is as simple as you can see here. Okay, we can pick cross points, we can have preview, we can have program. There are many ways, many things we can do from this part. But if we want, again, to work with anchors, it is also possible, sorry, with the anchors with the graphics, it's also possible to do so from here. Okay, so we are not missing any of the parts that we were displaying before. Okay, so for example, let me look for the countdown, because this is small element, it is over there. Okay, some other things that we can do. I haven't told you about the origin of the sets. We are very flexible. We can work basically with any 3D modeling software. Okay, so for example, if we have an operator and he or she is used to work with Cinema 4D, it is very possible to create something in Cinema 4D and export that to our system. When I say Cinema 4D, this can be anything, basically anything that can be saved in FBX format or in any other standard format. Okay, for example, if I have a 3D object and I want to import that, the process is as simple as this. I have some objects around here. Okay, these are 3D models, and each one is coming from a different source. Okay, let me just pick something that I'm going to need to adapt. For example, this is a police car. As you can see, this has been modeled in dye. Okay, this and then also saved as an OBJ. Okay, I'm going to use OBJ because die is a proprietary format, but it was saved in the two formats at the same time. Then we have all the data about the textures. It is very important. Once we have a designer, normally we want to take care about the shadows and about how this looks, okay, or how about the look of our show. Maybe we want to have the lights of InfinitySet that you have seen working, or maybe you just want to keep exactly the same shadows and colors and all the original characteristics that the designer wanted to keep. In any case, we can adapt to everything. In this case, I just want to have a car, okay? And I want to import that. This is the object. I want to import that. I don't need to do anything else. This is now an object that belongs to my set, and the only thing I need to do is to adapt the size and also the rotation. Okay, let me change the rotation first, just 90 degrees, and let me adapt the size. Okay, this is happening because probably the designer was working at a different scale. We are working with meters. Maybe it was designed, I don't know, in centimeters, in inches. I don't know, and it is not relevant because I can adapt the size very easily. Let's make this smaller, as I want this to fit the platform. And there are a few things that we can also change here, because as you can see, we have a black crystal, and since this is a model that is coming from somewhere else, it is easy to think that we had some designer that prepared the inside of the car. And as you can see, it is true. I have just enabled the transparency from my material menu, and it is perfectly compatible with this. Okay, so I have an instant object. This could be a 3D set. This could be anything. This could also be an object sequence with an animation, which is very common when we are working with, I don't know, with sports graphics or something like that. And this can be included just by dragging and dropping. This is as simple as that. Some other example, let me just use some different format. I'm not going to use an OBJ. I have some tools. I'm going to put this one. This is an FBX, okay? And this is external. This was downloaded from TurboSquid. As you may know, this is just a source of different 3D objects. And here the textures are different, okay? They are JPG. Let's see if it works. I'm going to drag it, okay? And here it is. I've got T-Rex, okay, which is not something that we see a lot in news, but it is possible to show as an illustration of anything. Now let me just adapt that. Okay, it is being affected by the lights. As you can see, it is right under the lights. That's why we see it so clear. Let's adapt it so we can have a different view. Okay, we have a 3D object. This has been imported just by dragging and dropping using our 3D import plugin. It is as easy as that. And then let's adapt the materials. Probably we have a few ones, but what's important is that I want this to be flat or set it to off, or just adapt the lights. Let me change that. If I go to my lights, I can adapt how the lights are affecting my elements, okay? So if we reduce the intensity, well, I am reducing that part. Reducing this intensity, I am affecting this other part, okay? So now the colors of my Dinosaurs are much better, okay? And you can see, this is important. This can be as realistic as you need, okay? As you can see, this is a complex mesh, and at the same time, it is not very heavy to load. As you can see, I'm able to keep playing my video with my element. Okay, so this is the most common way to have something integrated in our engine. Okay, we have some object, and normally it is just a 3D set. We want to add some props, and we just need to model them, put the texture, and include them there. And you can see how we can, this can be affected by the light or not. But sometimes we need to have more realism, okay? It is very commonly asked nowadays. So let's close this project. I want to show you some other examples. Without abandoning our software, I want to show you our PBR graphics. Our PBR graphics are very realistic because we are playing with the textures there. PBR stands for physically based rendering, which means that we have some elements, some textures which are complex. This is just not some JPG that we paste on top of an object. If I show you, for example, these objects in this environment, these are very simple objects, okay? We have these spheres, these other elements, and they are basic. But we have something which is very similar to the bump mapping effect, but much more complicated to configure, okay? It is complicated to configure internally. It is very easy to change from here. You can appreciate that the difference here between these elements is not very noticeable. We've got this rough meteorite. Then we have this wooden effect here. You can appreciate the bamboo. And we have some scratched metal over here. And at the same time, we are reflecting this 360 degrees environment, okay? Okay, in order to make it quicker, I have this menu, I have created this menu where I'm able to change the model and also to change how the lights are affecting this. The PBR give us these photorealistic effects. Of course, what we have as an environment is not a 3D set. In this case, it is a 360 degree picture. And I'm going to change the environment. Here we are. And you can see how the lights and the effect of the lights is changing, okay? And it is reflecting everything that is around, okay? It is very interesting when we have a 3D model that we want to show in a realistic environment. So imagine that you have, for example, this silver element, or better, we have this silver element, and you want to put that as an augmented reality element in the middle of a studio. You can do that perfectly, and you can remove this background, and the reflection keeps existing. We can still appreciate the lake and all the elements. So we could have some reference file with a studio, with something different, and put this as an augmented reality object, and it is easy to render, okay? It is not complicated, and we are not using any other different environment, okay, and any other different software, such as Unreal Engine, okay? This is being done with InfinitySet on its own, okay? InfinitySet is quite powerful, very realistic, very photorealistic even, as you can see, but there are other possibilities. During the last couple of years, we have been able to integrate our software with Unreal Engine. and I'm going to show you some example of that. So you can see a project where we are controlling Unreal Engine from InfinitySet. Okay, so this is an advantage over our competitors because we can do that basically with, again, any tracking device. Not everybody can do that when we're talking about having a virtual set with Unreal Engine. And we can also control the elements directly from our interface. We don't need to do anything complicated, okay? In order to show you Unreal Engine, I'm going to load this set, which is just an apartment. So you will be able to appreciate the advantages of Unreal Engine, okay? Now it is very commonly used because it is a very good software, especially regarding photorealism. But it is lacking some other things that we are able to contribute to, okay, in this combination. Okay, so here we've got, again, InfinitySet. This is my interface, and as you can see, I have my camera presets, so I'm able to change my camera presets. Sorry if it is a little jumpy because I'm rendering my Unreal Engine from my laptop. But as you can see, it is working. It is responding to any command that I am doing from InfinitySet. It is an Unreal Engine project, and we can appreciate that especially in the qualities of the shadows and the reflections. Okay, we are able to, for example, modify our point of view. Sorry, let me remove my grid. Let me get closer so we can see this. I was getting outside of my set, and as you can see, as we move our camera, Unreal Engine is adapting to what we normally do with our eyes. Okay, we can have much darker environments, and suddenly when we look at the window, we adapt to see whatever is outside. Okay, or at least we are giving priority to what we see here and not what we see in the background. Now let's move over here and then let's get over there. As you can see, now we can appreciate what we have over there. Okay, apart from the switching of the cameras and all that, we can do many things. I have created this little form to be able to control a few features that I want to control in Unreal Engine. But if you're wondering how this is done, how this was done originally, it is very simple. We can do that from our plugins, okay? This is our Unreal Engine controller. And as you can see, here we have all the elements that we are controlling, okay? These are the features that we are modifying. This is a blueprint, for example, TV emission, and there are other things that are simply objects, okay? So you can see if you are familiar with Unreal Engine, and I don't want to get very deep into this, but as you can see here, we are changing an object and this property, okay, which is the color emission, but we can do much simpler stuff like, for example, we have a cup of coffee, and we can make it disappear. This is just a toggle, okay? How can we do that? Let me just move back. Here we have a few objects here on the table. And as you can see, we have the name of the objects, and we have these toggles already deployed here in our form. This has been customized by us. So for example, if I have my cup over here, I can select it and make it disappear, okay? Or for example, I will also be able to remove even the table or displace that, okay, if I had prepared that displacement, okay? If that is not the case, I can show you some other example in a moment. What else can we change? I was talking about the other features like the intensity. Okay, I'm changing the light intensity here at the bed. Okay, and you can notice how it is becoming brighter and brighter. Okay, or I can reduce that. But that is not the more important thing that we can do with InfinitySet in Unreal. We can send elements to Unreal Engine. The content of this screen is being rendered in Unreal Engine, but the content is being sent from Infinity. Okay, this means that we have a ticker here, and we have this video, which is displayed in the background. This is a video. You can see the cars going by. If I want to change that, I just need to go over here and change the asset that I am displaying here. Okay, let's do it. I have some examples here with some sample videos. So let's do that. Okay, let's pick this baseball game. I think it's baseball. I don't know if it's okay. There they are, and I have been able to change the video. I could do that with a playlist also. Okay, I'm just showing you the feature just to show you how easy it is to change that, and we are rendering that in Unreal Engine. I can prove that it is Unreal Engine because if I try to show you the wireframe, it is not displayed, okay? Because I'm only able to display my wireframe when I am rendering something in eStudio. Right now, what I'm doing with InfinitySet is to use it as a controller of all the features of Unreal Engine, and also I'm using that to control my camera positions, and it will also be possible to include some 3D elements, such as the ones from the 3D importer. Okay, so this is one of the possible examples. This is not spectacular, but it is very interesting to see how the light reacts to what we are doing and how we can modify whatever it is in Unreal Engine. We have complete control over every feature that we have there. The guys at Epic Games, the makers of Unreal Engine, have told us that they're very happy with how easy the integration is. When I'm talking about a plugin, a real plugin, it is not a complex element that needs a separate machine. It is part of InfinitySet, and this is an option that can be very easily configured. I've got some other example, which is an example of Unreal Engine as augmented reality. And unless you have any question, I think that this will complete the overview. Okay. What I want to show you now is a different usage of Unreal Engine. You have seen how we created before teletransportation from the virtual eStudio, what we have with here with this project, and we were jumping from there to somewhere else, some different place. Okay, what we are going to do now is to do the opposite. Well, not the opposite. We are going to do exactly the same, but with some Unreal Engine generated characters. Okay, we had a couple of models that were available because, as you know, Unreal Engine is basically a video game engine, very sophisticated. And what we are going to do now is to have some pre-recorded video with some tracking information. And my idea is to display a couple of elements. Let me reset that. These two characters. Okay. Here we are. These two characters on top of that video. Okay. We can do that, of course, with some tracked camera, and the result is amazing. Okay, let me tell you a little bit about how we have configured that. What we have in the background is a pre-recorded video. This is a basketball game, as you can see, and we have two elements that were generated that are generated in Unreal Engine. Okay, the video is played as a loop. This could be a longer video, of course, or this could be a live video, which is also a very cool option when we are working with an event. Okay, this video could be fed live to where we are, and there we could integrate these two guys and also some other element I created. For example, I have my anchor over there and she's integrated. I haven't corrected the color, but you get the idea. Apart from that, you can see that these two game characters are somewhat limited because they have animations, but we can have different animations depending on what's happening. This is very interesting if, for example, we're going to broadcast esports and we want to feature the characters of the game. Okay, here we can see that, but they are 3D because the camera is going around them, and we can see different positions from them, and we can change the animation. We can also change the position, but let's focus on this. The girl is called Shimbi, the guy is called Murdoch. And as you can see, we can change the animation. So she is now throwing hearts. She can cast a spell. Okay, this, as I was telling you, this is coming from a video game. And of course, we can also play with our other character. I can hide Shimbi. We can focus on Soldier, and we can make him walk. We can make him idle. We can kill him like this. Okay, and you can see we can control everything. These were the animations that were prepared, okay, for the video game itself. But since we have the skeleton, we can change how it is rigged. We can change the animation, and you can prepare your own character. So there are many things we can do with this. Let him walk. Let's not kill the poor guy. And then let's restore the girl. Okay. I am showing that as an augmented reality element. If I display this as a track-free, well, we don't see much here. Let me just restore here. I want to show this as a track-free element because I want to be able to move my camera. As long as I show the background video or the tracked video, we are tied to the tracking position. But as you can see, I can have different camera positions like this. And we are displaying these two elements in real time, and I'm able to change my camera position. Okay, that's the idea. Let's change the position so she says hello, and that's it. We can always go back to our augmented reality option. Okay, and we can play our playlist where we have our pre-recorded video. You can see I am playing that, but it will be possible to have a live video input with tracking. So with this, we have had a really quick overview. There are many possibilities. There are many possible configurations, but you get an idea of what we can do with InfinitySet. So if you have any question or if you want to see something in particular.
Okay, now that Anastasio has finished his demo, I have been collecting some of the questions that our attendees have written. I don't know if we will be able to cover all of them. So those questions that we don't have time right now, we will send you afterwards an email sorry, we will send you afterwards an email with the answers. So let's start with the first one. We have a question about InfinitySet. It says, can we send live video feed to InfinitySet?
Yes, of course. I can show you how it is done. I am doing that with pre-recorded videos because we are in confinement because of the virus crisis that we all know about. But yes, normally the intention with InfinitySet is to work with a live video input. I can show you how this is configured. This is our video setup. Okay, and this is what we normally do to configure the video inputs at any installation that we have our system installed. So yes, we are prepared to work with many different video cards, video boards. Normally, we work with Aya because we are used to work with that, but it is possible to work with many different vendors and also with many different formats. As long as we have compatibility with the board and the board is able to do that, it is possible. For example, I have picked up the first example. I'm using an Aya Core Vid88, and it is configured to work in 4K. As you know, it has 8 connectors, so it is just using 4 connectors. It is working in quadrants, and it has a single input in 4K and a single output also in 4K. But it is possible to configure that in HD, okay? Or
okay.
You name it. We can change the format to any compatible format. We're very free in that sense. We are not tied to any video board vendor, and we can work in many formats. In fact, once you have InfinitySet, if for some reason you need to change how the video is configured, you will be trained for that. And you can change, you can use any video board that you want. So imagine that you're working in HD, and next year you want to feature something in 4K. It is possible to do the change afterwards, and you don't need to change the license at all.
Anastasia, would you be able to show us a virtual set with a virtual monitor in there and drop in a video to simulate
sure.
A live feed?
Yes. It is. I'm working with pre-recorded videos, but I'm going to tell you a little more about the inputs, how they are configured, and all their possible origins, so it becomes even more clear. I'm going to start from scratch, and I'm going to load some scene. This is going to be a simpler set. Let's look for this one, for example.
You'll see that Anastasia has a library there of pre-configured sets, which you can choose from. And there's a second library, which is components. In other words, there's floors, ceilings, chairs, and so on, so that you can select from your library and build your own set. You can also import components, as Anastasia had said previously, created in Cinema 4D or other creative software packages, and import those for your set.
Yes, in this case, this set is included with InfinitySet. It's part of its library, and as you can see, it is being rendered in our engine. Okay, I can show you the wireframe. So it is being rendered by InfinitySet. Before I was just using some videos, okay, and we can apply any video to any of the monitors. Okay, I can just look for some movie. These are just some examples I compiled from the internet, but you can put any video in any of the usual formats. Okay, here I'm mixing formats. Okay, this could be an AVI, MOV, MP4, MKV. And you can use many different formats and also with different resolutions. Be careful with that because you need to have an account where you are going to apply that video textures, but you can do anything from here. And if you want to change what you see in the monitor, you can just drag and drop as I did before, okay? But the usual way, if we were working with the video input, a live video input, will be to do that from here, okay? From the input menu. As you can see, we can select many sources, okay? This can be a live video, which in this case is going to be empty, okay? And we can assign that over here. It is empty because I have no video configuration. I am doing that, again, I'm doing that from my laptop, okay? It is a portable workstation, but I don't have the video card. And, but as you can see, I can modify that. This can be an image, okay? This is just for testing. I can show you the video I was using during the demo, okay? And I can also pick a playlist. This is what I have done before for the pre-recorded videos with some tracking information, but this can be also used for these other videos. I can press play and choose the next video. Sorry, just play. Make it a loop. Okay. It is moving. I have chosen, this is a poor example, but as you can see, the image is moving. Only it is a very quiet landscape. But when it finishes, it jumps to the next video. Okay. So yes, we can have.
We have.
Yes.
Anastasia, sorry, as we have some other questions to answer as well. So if just to quickly finish off on this, so you can have typically 4, maybe 5 simultaneous inputs, which could be cameras, could be a live feed, and they can be displayed as Anastasia is showing in the monitors there. You can add a movie, and you can add still images, you can loop them, you can have playlists. So there's many, many different ways in which you can present live as well as pre-recorded content. And as far as dropping in a movie or images, you can have almost as many as you like. So you can have a very diverse background of content, live and images in the set there. Francisco, you want to move on to the next question?
Yes. Now we have several questions about importing 3D graphics from different third-party software. So the first question is, can we directly export to InfinitySet from Illustrator, 3D Max, Maya?
Yes. Let's go software by software. From Max and Maya, we can do that directly. I can save my project in Max format or in FBX or any other format. I don't know if I have the example, but yes, we can do it. This is an FBX, for example. This belongs to Autodesk, so it is for sure that we can do that from Maya and from 3D Max. When we are talking about Illustrator, we need to export the proper format. We have some time ago we had an Illustrator exporter which allowed us to import the curve just to have the shape. If you have some shape in Illustrator that you want to apply to InfinitySet, you need to export that in some other format, and then it will be possible to feature that as a 3D object, okay? But we're talking about different things. One thing is a vectorial graphic, and other thing is a 3D graphic, okay? In this case, what I have been showing you are 3D models, okay? And as all these ones, okay? It is very common. For example, here we have a 3ds, which is coming from 3D Max, and it has been saved in 4 different formats: DAA, C4D, FVX. Okay, and they are all calling the same textures. There are other exporters. There are products I haven't talked about, like Photoshop exporter, and also not only Adobe Photoshop, but Adobe After Effects. We can create templates from that.
And what about Adobe Premiere Pro Edit? Do you know this software?
Yeah, but what we can do from there is just to bring a video file. So we are not importing a project because this is not a video. I mean, it is a virtual set or a CG, a real-time graphics software, what we are doing.
Mm-hmm.
And what we are doing with Adobe Premiere is just to create a video or to have a video project. So if we have something in Premiere, we just need to create the video, and then we can use that as a video file properly. But we don't have any editing feature because this is not the purpose of the software.
Okay. Yes, in other words, we don't have a plugin to integrate more deeply with the Adobe Premiere.
No.
Okay. Then we have another question. Concerning tracking system, is InfinitySet compatible with the new Panasonic UE150 cameras that have tracking system inside the camera?
Yes, we are. In fact, we have been. I don't know if we were the first ones, but one of the first ones to do the integration with that camera. And we are compatible with that. In fact, we can control the cameras of InfinitySet in the mixer mode, the virtual cameras, from the controller of Panasonic, from the physical control panel that that camera has. So yes, we are perfectly integrated both in HD and in 4K. That camera, yes.
And on this point of integration with the Panasonic 150, on this coming Friday, the 8th of May, Panasonic and Brainstorm were doing a small presentation about that integration. So if you have a look at our website, and I'll give you the details later when we finish shortly, or if you look at the Panasonic website, you can probably register in order to see that that little demonstration of the integration between the Panasonic and Brainstorm.
Okay. Now we have a question about videos. So people would like to know which video files we support. For example, MP4, 4K, we are able to import 4K videos. Is it possible,
yes.
Anastasia?
Yes, as I told you before, we are compatible with many different formats, and we can work with many different resolutions. We are compatible with MOV files, as you can see here. We can work with MP4, we can work with MKV, we can work with AVI. And well, regarding the codec, we are also compatible with anything that the Windows system where we're working in is able to play. Okay, so as long as this is your computer is able to play that, we are able to play that because it has the proper codecs. What we recommend is to work with H.264. Okay, or at least we have been doing that traditionally because it is easier for the computer to do its math, but it is not mandatory. We can grab any video and play that. And Of course, we can mix resolutions. If we have different sources, we have an SD video and we have an HD video, and then we have a 4K video, we can mix all the sources and put them in the on the same screen.
That's excellent. Now let's move forward. We have a question from a designer. He would like to know, when using Aston Designer module, is it possible to have video output, or do I require an Aston player? This is for the designer workstation. Okay.
It is possible to have a video output if you have a video board, but it depends on the configuration that you have. Okay. If it is purely a design station, normally we don't have a video output unless you require it. And you could have that with a watermark, or you could have a full license with a video output, so you can see that with no watermark.
Yes, so just to add to that, the Aston Designer is specifically designed to be typically within the creative graphics department, where there is, it doesn't go out to air, and therefore it typically does not have the player part of the configuration. As I mentioned right from the beginning, there's a family of Aston products. So we can have the top of the range being Aston Suite, which has absolutely everything from the design to CG to play out. And then we have various different components down to the Aston Designer, as we say. The playout application, we can do it in we have 3D versions, we have 2D versions. So once again, when you have a look at our website, go into our products page, and you see the drop down that details many of the different features and capabilities that the Aston family of products have.
Okay, thank you, David. And
so, Francisco, we probably only have time for another 1 or 2 questions.
Yeah, okay. So we have a question about workflows in InfinitySet. People would like to know if they need a license, a separate license for each camera, or what do you recommend for a typical show?
Yes.
Yeah.
No, I understand. I understand the question. Again, there are many possible configurations. You need a license per computer, okay? That is rendering the software, that is rendering the point of view. But it doesn't have to do so much with the cameras as more with the capabilities of the computer. Let me explain. If we are working in InfinitySet, for example, if we look at my interface, I'm perfectly capable of having, as we were saying before, 4 or 5 HD video inputs, okay, and I can configure them and I can render them simultaneously in my computer, okay. So each one will correspond to a different cross point. Okay, a different point of view of the camera that will have a different, track free with a different input. Okay, this will be input 3 or input, you can see we have 1, 2, and 3. Okay, this is just an example. In this case, this will be a single computer. Okay, so that requires a single license. If we need to have more computers for rendering reasons, for example, you want to work in 4K with Unreal Engine with very demanding graphics, and you need a workstation per camera. In that case, you will need to have a license per workstation. Okay, but again, it depends on your needs. Okay, if you're going to use Unreal Engine or not, how demanding this is going to be, and the quality of the video. Normally, it is something that we need to define based on the needs of the customer.
Yes, so you could have a single workstation, shall we say, with 3 cameras attached to it, or as Anastasia says, you could have a workstation and the restoration software per camera there. One of the other aspects, in addition to whether it's Unreal or not, if you have Unreal, you do need to have a workstation per camera. But also, if you have a single workstation system, then the view from the camera is purely the green screen. So if they're manually operated cameras, then the cameraman would only see what he's looking at, i.e., the presenter and green screen. Whereas if it's a workstation and render system per camera, then they see the compiled end result.
Okay. Okay, so now I will read the last question. Although there are many more, I will answer those by separate email. Sorry about that, but time is ticking. Okay, we have a question about what type of engagement does Brainstorm have with Dalet Cube software?
Well,
okay, perhaps I could.
Yes.
Sorry, perhaps I could answer that, Anastasia.
Yes, that's better. Thank you.
One thing which we haven't mentioned is that Brainstorm not only specializes in virtual studios, augmented reality, and motion graphic systems, but we are also an OEM supplier. In other words, we provide our software, our render engines to third parties who incorporate them within their own systems. So Foray, which we mentioned previously, is a company where we provide them with software to integrate within some of their systems. Dalet is another example, where the Dalet Cube was the first generation, shall we say, of the Dalet Cube needed to be replaced, and Dalet themselves decided that it would be best if they went to an external supplier, so they approached Brainstorm. So the core render engine, the core graphics systems within the Dalet Cube, Cube NG, next generation, is Brainstorm. So we supply that under the OEM agreement to Dalet, and they promote, supply, sell, maintain that with Brainstorm supporting indirectly the overall system. But it's entirely a Dalet project or product, and the Cube NG and the Brainstorm software inside it is based on our Aston.
Okay. Okay, so thank you, David.
Okay.
I think
so
time to finish.
Yeah, I think that we probably need to wind it up now because we've overstepped the mark a little bit. We've been going for an hour and 3/4. But I'd just like to mention one or two things to finish off with. Anastasia majored very much on the Unreal Engine, which is a key component within our InfinitySet. But also hugely important is what we call the combined render engine. So this is where we mentioned our eStudio working together with the Unreal Engine. Unreal Engine is excellent for the photorealism, the hyperrealism that it brings, but it doesn't have all the features which the eStudio is very rich in. After 25 years of development, it's one of the foremost premier render systems in the broadcast world. Epic Games and the Unreal is designed, as Anastasia mentioned, for video games. It's not designed specifically for broadcast. So combining all the rich features that we have within the InfinitySet with the eStudio together with the Unreal gives us an unprecedented advantage over our competitors. And Epic Games themselves say that we have the best integration with the Unreal of any company within the market, within the broadcast market. So that's just one thing I wanted to mention. The second was that to underline the fact we are a software-based company, so we integrate, again, has been mentioned by Anastasio, with a wide variety of hardware partners. So the system is based on, all our products are based on HP workstations with graphics cards and video graphics cards typically. And Anastasio mentioned we can work with a variety of video input-output cards, tracking systems. We're very agnostic in terms of the other components to the overall system. And chroma keyers, the Foray chroma keyer, Crystal Vision, and many others we can use as well. And then I just want to finish off with the fact that because we're all suffering from the restrictions of coronavirus, next week is what's called NAB Express. And of course, NAB wasn't able to go ahead this year. So we are having a, during the, I think it's Wednesday and Thursday of next week, the 13th and 14th, Brainstorm will be having a mini NAB event. This is similar to the one which we held a few weeks ago, which coincided with the dates that NAB was going to be on. And I would encourage you to go to our website, which is www.brainstorm3d.com. And on the home page there, you'll be able to register to watch different webinars on our products. And also you'll find it very interesting because we have a virtual tour of the stand which we would have been constructing at NAB, but we've done so virtually. So we walk you around that stand, introduce our products, and then in the webinar we go through demonstrations there. The other thing I wanted to mention, the last thing is we've been approached by many companies who, of course, are suffering from the lack of being able to communicate with their clients face-to-face, go to events, do things as we have traditionally been used to doing, and they still want to obviously maintain those communications with their clients. So we are able, and we have demonstrated our ability to do virtual live events, presentations, news events, and so on. So I would encourage you once again to look at our website, www.brainstorm3d.com, and under news and events, which is a tab on the top right of the home page. If you look down there, you'll see there's a Florida-based company called MIG, where not only are they using our products to do virtual live presentations for their own clients, they're specialists in events rather than a broadcaster. But we also did the installation, the training, and helped them to go on air all remotely. So it's worth checking that one out as well. Okay, it only remains for me to say thank you very much for everyone who attended. I'm sure that if you require any further information, do contact our friends from Agiv, Gutlam, Nitin, Devashish, Binod, and the others there, and they will be able to help you, or you can always contact us on sales@brainstorm3d.com, and any one of us will be happy to help. Thank you very much, and have a good day, what remains of it.